Under the shade of the ancient baobab tree, I am Karl the Griot, keeper of stories, weaver of memory. Today, I bring you a tale from the highlands of Eritrea, a tale of spirits who dwell between sun and shadow. This is the sisters you cannot see. But before we begin, remember to like, to share, and to subscribe so that these stories may continue to live in your hearts and in the hearts of those yet to come. The screen opens on terraced hills, still cloaked in morning mist. A lone goat bleats, then suddenly falls silent, replaced by a cackle that chills the bones. A man strings his bow with steady hands, though his eyes betray a worry deep as the valleys he hunts. This is Semere. The old women of the highlands say the Hidirtina live between sunbeam and shadow. Step into their grove at noon and you will hear them breathe behind the wind. Semere had heard such stories since boyhood, but a man cannot trap wind or feed a family with breath. His goats were vanishing, hyenas, he told himself, yet fear twisted like a knot in his belly. Today, he would find the truth. He moved in silence, practiced and sure. The air smelled of frankincense and damp moss. On the earth, he found tracks, cleft hoof, light as a kiss, no heavier than rain remembered. A deer. Not bushbuck, but something slender, quick. A flash of white darted between trees, impossible, but real enough for his hungry eyes. He followed, past the cedar split by lightning, past the hollow stump where children hid their marbles, past the bubbling spring that cleared its throat like an old man. And there, under the canopy, stood the deer, white as milk, glowing as if the sun itself had woven its coat. Semere raised his bow. "You must not," came a woman's voice, soft as breath in his ear. He spun, nothing but trembling leaves. He pulled the string tighter. "Unity breaks before hunger," he muttered, and loosed. The arrow cracked into a tree like breaking bone. The deer was gone. But the forest was listening. Pinned in the bark was not flesh, but hair, black, braided, shining. It slid free, coiling like a living thing. Semere's knife leapt into his hand. "Put it away," whispered the unseen voice. "You have trespassed against a law older than stone." "Show yourself," he demanded. "Turn, and you will not see us. Close your eyes, and you will." The air changed, holy and heavy. Semere shut his eyes. The earth cooled. He heard the steps of many, though they made no sound. A circle closed around him. Men hunt, men hunger, men forget, said a second voice, sharp as flint. "Forgive him," the first voice pleaded. "He is Semere, named for an answered prayer." Semere's breath caught. How could they know? "We are the Hidirtina. We know the names spoken in sleep." He begged for release. They answered with warning, "Draw another arrow here, and his hand would never find its way home." Then he opened his eyes. Before him stood a woman more beautiful than language could hold. Her hair poured like water, her eyes deep as wet earth. At her side, the white deer waited like a faithful hound. "You must not," she said. You must draw no arrow here. Tomorrow, you will have your herds back, unless our ancestors believe that you should not. This forest is a many families' home. I am Simrat, Unity. Two more emerged from shadow, stern Abrahet, the light bringer, and the smiling one, whose name was withheld, her mouth a braid of mercy and pain. They were the Hidirtina, sisters, spirits, the ones you cannot see unless they will it. Semere told us of the trial to come. That very night, a pack would climb from the wadi, led by one who walked sometimes as a man, sometimes as a beast. If they crossed the old boundary stone, his village would fall. Semere must stand at the stone till dawn. If he held, his herds would flourish. If he failed, he would not see the morning. He bowed his head. I will stand.
Simret cut a tiny amulet from her neck, a piece of sycamore fig tied with red thread, and tied it around his wrist. The wood smelled faintly of smoke and sap. The fig remembers old covenants.
And so night fell. The boundary stone jutted from the soil like a broken tooth. Semere lit his fire and placed his weapons aside. He had been told not to fight, only to stand. The moon rose. From the dark came hyenas, their eyes brass and cruel. They spread wide, testing him. Behind them came the man who was not only man, Buda, skin shifter. His shadow loped where his body walked upright. Step aside, hunter. This boundary is old. I am newer. Semere raised his wrist, and the amulet of figwood given by Simrat glowed in firelight. This land is held by a promise. The Buddha laughed, bitter and sharp. To women with secrets, to hills that whisper, you believe in stories? I do, said Semere, his voice steady, because they believe in me. And then he sang, his mother's work song, his wife Hobin's lullaby, a hymn from the village church. The hyenas faltered, the Buddha snarled. 3 times the beast charged, 3 times the pack tested, and 3 times the amulet's fire flared. On the last, the Buddha transformed fully, bones cracking, face splitting into the monstrous hyena that was his truth. He leapt. Semere caught him with empty hands, pushing with the strength of a man who has built walls from stone. The amulet burned hot, searing shadow and flesh alike. The beast fell back. Dawn light touched the hills. The hyenas turned, broken, and fled with their master. Exhausted, bleeding but alive, Semere sank to his knees. The sisters appeared once more. Simrat's deer breathed cool healing on his wound. Abrahet's stern face softened. The smiling one spoke. A boundary is a weapon few remember. And Simrat tied the amulet around his neck. You are the forest's man now, Semere. If you call, we will come. But do not call lightly. This covenant has weight. And when he returned home, his wife and daughter slept by the hearth, though the coffee pot lay cracked. He had lost no goats, but he had gained a promise, a song, and a story to tell. And in the years to come, his daughter would walk the same paths, and strangers with rain in their scent and earth in their eyes would visit. She would bring them coffee, they would smile,
and she would know some stories are part of the earth itself, waiting to be found again. This was The Sisters You Cannot See, Hidirtina, a tale from the highlands of Eritrea. If this story has stirred your spirit, then remember to like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to Tales by Carl the Griot. Until we meet again beneath the baobab tree, keep the stories alive.